As a medical doctor with over 25 years of experience, there's a difficult truth I must share with you. For decades, the medical community has focused, rightly so, on managing chronic conditions like allergies, anxiety, insomnia, or an overactive bladder. We've prescribed medications to give you relief, to help you sleep through the night, to calm your nerves, to let you live your life without constant interruptions. We've told you these pills are safe for long-term use, but we may have overlooked a devastating, silent side effect. We were so focused on treating the immediate symptom that we may have missed the quiet, creeping fog that was descending upon the brain. The real danger, the one we are only now beginning to fully understand, isn't from some rare, exotic disease. It's sitting right there in your medicine cabinet. It's hiding in plain sight, disguised as a harmless allergy pill, a simple sleep aid, or a routine bladder medication. A pill that millions of people over 60 take every single day, trusting it's helping them. But a growing mountain of evidence from multiple, large-scale studies now shows a terrifying link. Taking just one of these common pills daily for as little as 3 months could increase your risk of developing dementia by nearly 50%. This isn't just about temporary brain fog or feeling a bit groggy. We are talking about permanent, structural changes to your brain. We are talking about brain shrinkage. And today, I feel it is my absolute duty to walk you through this. Not to scare you, but to empower you. To pull back the curtain on a class of drugs called Anticholinergics and show you exactly how they may be dimming the lights in your brain, one pill at a time. I'll show you the specific names to look for, the science behind the damage, and most importantly, the safer, effective alternatives that can give you the relief you need without sacrificing the mind you've spent a lifetime building. What you are about to hear could be the most important health information you receive this year. It might just save your memory. So, what is this invisible threat? The culprit belongs to a large class of drugs known as anticholinergics. It's a complicated-sounding name, but what it does is terrifyingly simple. To understand it, I want you to imagine your brain is a massive, intricate power grid for your entire body. It has billions of connections, like wires, that carry vital messages. For these messages to spark from one nerve cell to the next, your brain needs a special chemical, a neurotransmitter, called acetylcholine. Acetylcholine is, quite literally, your brain's spark plug. It's the juice. You need it to form a memory, to focus on a conversation, to learn a new skill, even to tell your muscles to move. It is fundamental to your ability to think, learn, and recall. Anticholinergic drugs, by their very nature, block acetylcholine. They are designed to do this. They essentially go into your brain's complex power grid and start cutting the wires. They put up roadblocks on your neural highways. When you take one of these pills, it's like throwing a wrench into your brain's delicate communication system. In the short term, the signals get fuzzy. This is why you might feel drowsy, a little confused, or experience that brain fog after taking a common sleep aid. But here is the critical part you need to understand. When this blocking happens day after day, week after week, for months or even years, the system begins to break down permanently. Those nerve cells, starved of their essential spark, start to weaken. The connections wither. The brain, in a desperate attempt to function with less power, begins to physically shrink. This process is called brain atrophy. It's a silent, slow erosion of the very tissue that holds your memories, your personality, your essence. And this is the scientifically established pathway to memory loss, cognitive decline, and ultimately, dementia. It's not a theory. It's a physiological process we can now see on advanced brain scans. Now, you might be thinking, Dr. Mitchell, surely I am not taking one of these drugs. But the chilling reality is that they are everywhere, often in the products we trust the most. So right now, I want you to do a mental check of your own medicine cabinet. Let's unmask some of the most common ones together. First, let's talk about allergies and sleep. One of the most powerful and widely used anticholinergics is a medication called diphenhydramine. Does that name ring a bell? It's the active ingredient in Benadryl. It's also the key ingredient in many over-the-counter sleep aids like Tylenol PM, Advil PM, and Unisom sleep gels. For decades, we've reached for these for a runny nose or a sleepless night, never suspecting they could be harming our most vital organ. Next, let's look at anxiety and itching. A very commonly prescribed medication is hydroxyzine, which goes by the brand names Visteril or Atarax. It's given for anxiety, to help with sleep, or to treat severe itching. It too is a potent anticholinergic, working by the same brain-blocking mechanism. What about bladder control? This is a significant one. Millions of older adults, particularly women, are prescribed medications for an overactive bladder. Drugs like oxybutynin brand name Detropan, tolterodine brand name Detrol, or sulfanicin brand name Vesicare are mainstays of treatment. They work by relaxing the bladder muscle, but they do so by blocking acetylcholine, not just in the bladder, but throughout your entire body, including your brain. The list continues. Medications for irritable bowel syndrome (IBS) like dicyclomine brand name Benadryl are on the list. Even the patch you might wear for motion sickness, the scopolamine patch, is a powerful anticholinergic. Some older antidepressants, particularly the tricyclic class like amitriptyline, also fall into this category. The frightening part is how easily one person can be taking several of these at once, prescribed by different doctors for different reasons, without anyone connecting the dots. And whether it's a prescription from your doctor or a pill you bought at the pharmacy, the effect on your brain's chemistry is exactly the same. They all contribute to dimming that essential spark. I want to pause for a moment and really let this sink in, because the science here is undeniable and deeply concerning. One of the most pivotal studies was a meta-analysis, which is a study of studies that looked at the data from over 1.5 million people. The conclusion was crystal clear: the use of anticholinergic drugs is an independent risk factor for developing all-cause dementia and Alzheimer's disease. The more of these drugs you take, and the longer you take them, the higher your risk becomes. Think about that term, independent risk factor. It means that even if you do everything else right, you eat well, you exercise, you don't smoke, these pills alone can be enough to tip the scales against your brain's health. Another landmark study published in the prestigious journal JAMA Neurology went even further. They didn't just look at dementia diagnosis. They looked directly at the brains of the people taking these medications using advanced imaging like MRI scans. What they found was a direct, visible link between taking anticholinergic drugs and increased brain atrophy, meaning physical shrinkage of the brain. They also saw decreased brain metabolism, which means the brain cells weren't using energy efficiently. They were, in essence, becoming sluggish and dysfunctional. So, let's be absolutely clear. This is not just about feeling off. This is about a physical transformation happening inside your skull. Imagine your brain's communication pathways are like a lush, dense forest. Acetylcholine is the rain that nourishes this forest. When you take an anticholinergic drug, you stop the rain. At first, the forest just gets a little dry. But over time, the leaves wither, the branches become brittle, and the entire forest begins to shrink and die back. This is what brain atrophy looks like. And the areas most vulnerable to this drought are the hippocampus, your brain's memory center, and the cerebral cortex, which is responsible for higher thought and cognition. You are, quite literally, starving your brain of what it needs to thrive. And this is especially dangerous for anyone over the age of 60, because as we age, our natural production of acetylcholine, already begins to decline. Taking these medications is like pouring gasoline on a fire. Here you are dramatically accelerating an already natural aging process. Now we must discuss what I consider to be one of the most insidious and under-recognized dangers in modern medicine for seniors, what I call the anticholinergic cascade, or the danger of stacking. This is when a person, completely unknowingly, takes multiple medications from this class at the same time. I see this in my practice constantly, and it is a recipe for cognitive disaster. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine a patient, let's call her Mary. Mary is 72. She has some seasonal allergies, so she takes a Benadryl before bed to help her breathe and sleep. She also has some anxiety, so her primary care doctor has her on a low dose of hydroxyzane. And lately, she's been having some bladder urgency, so her urologist started her on Detropan. Mary thinks she is managing 3 separate health issues. But what is actually happening is that she is launching a 3-pronged chemical assault on her brain as acetylcholine levels every single day. Each drug on its own blocks a little bit of that vital spark. But when you combine them, the effect isn't just additive, it can be exponential. You are shutting down major portions of your central nervous system. It's like having 3 separate leaks in your house's plumbing system. 1 leak might be manageable, but 3 at once will flood the entire house. This is what we call a high anticholinergic burden. It's a medical term for this cumulative effect. The symptoms of this silent overdose can be subtle at first. Mary might feel more forgetful. She might misplace her keys more often or struggle to find the right word in a conversation. Her family might dismiss it as a senior moment. Her doctor might even misinterpret these symptoms as the early stages of dementia and, in a tragic irony, might even prescribe another medication that could make things worse. They don't realize that the very treatments they are prescribing are the cause of the cognitive decline they are witnessing. This stacking is so dangerous because no single doctor is looking at the full picture. The allergist, the psychiatrist, the urologist, they each prescribe within their specialty. It's up to you and I, to be the detectives of our own health, to look at everything in our medicine cabinet and ask the critical question, are these pills meant to help me, secretly conspiring to harm my mind? If anything I've said so far resonates with you, if a small alarm bell is ringing in your mind, I want you to listen very carefully. Do not panic. The purpose of knowledge is not to create fear, but to inspire action. Your brain has a remarkable capacity for healing and resilience, and you can start taking steps to protect it today. Here is your action plan, a clear path forward to a clearer mind. Step 1 is investigation. Tonight, I want you to go to your medicine cabinet. Take out every single pill bottle, both prescription and over-the-counter. Make a list. Include your allergy pills, your sleep aids, your bladder medications, your antidepressants, everything. Then, you can either use a search engine online and type the name of the drug followed by Anticholinergic, or even better, take that list to your local pharmacist. Pharmacists are one of the most underutilized resources in healthcare. Simply ask them, can you please review this list and tell me which of these have anticholinergic properties? This simple act of creating a list is the first and most crucial step to taking back control. Step 2 is the most important: communication. I need to be absolutely emphatic about this. Do not, under any circumstances, stop taking any prescribed medication on your own. This can be very dangerous. Instead, I want you to schedule an appointment with your doctor. Go to that appointment with your list in hand. This is not a confrontation. This is a collaboration. You can say something like, "Doctor, I've been reading about the link between anticholinergic medications and long-term cognitive risks, and I am concerned. I see that I might be taking one or more of these drugs. Could we please discuss my medication regimen and explore if there are any safer, non-anticholinergic alternatives for my condition? This phrasing makes you an active, informed partner in your own healthcare. You are not challenging their expertise here, you are expressing a valid concern and opening a dialogue. Step 3 is transition. Work with your doctor to see if you can be switched, especially for any medication you are taking long-term. In many cases, there are excellent, modern alternatives that do not carry the same cognitive risks. The goal is to lower your overall anticholinergic burden as much as possible, gently and safely, under medical supervision. If this information is helpful, please take a moment to press the like button. It's a small action that tells the platform this is valuable content, helping it reach and protect more seniors who may be unknowingly at risk. So, what are these safer alternatives? Let's talk about the arsenal of choices you have that can provide relief without clouding your mind. This is where you can truly become empowered. For sleep, instead of reaching for Tylenol PM or Benadryl, there are wonderful non-anticholinergic options. Natural supplements like melatonin, which is your body's own sleep hormone, or calming herbs like chamomile or ashwagandha can be very effective. Magnesium is another superstar for sleep, but it's crucial to use the right form, like magnesium glycinate or L-threonate, which are better absorbed and calming for the nervous system. I have a whole separate video dedicated to choosing the best form of magnesium, and I highly recommend you watch it. I'll leave a link for you in the description below. If you require a prescription sleep aid, a medication like trazodone has minimal to no anticholinergic effects and is often a much safer choice for long-term use in older adults. For allergies, the solution is to move away from the first-generation antihistamines like Benadryl. Instead, you want to lean into the second-generation antihistamines. These include drugs like cetirizine Zyrtec, loratadine Claritin, and fexofenadine Allegra. The key difference is that these newer medications are designed to have minimal penetration into the brain and central nervous system. While they technically still have some very weak anticholinergic properties, they are far less likely to cause the cognitive side effects, making them a significantly safer choice for daily or frequent use. For bladder control, this is a critical one to address. If you re-on medications like oxybutynin Dutropan or tolterodine Detrol, you must ask your doctor about newer, non-anticholinergic options. A fantastic alternative is a medication called Mirabegron, brand name Myrbetriq. It works through a completely different pathway, relaxing the bladder muscle without blocking acetylcholine, thus sparing your brain. And for EBS, if you've been prescribed a drug like dicyclomine bentyl, talk to your doctor about alternatives. For many people, something as simple and natural as peppermint oil capsules can be incredibly effective at calming gut spasms. There are also other prescription medications that don't carry the same cognitive risk, and the right choice will depend on your specific symptoms. The point is, for almost every condition treated by these older drugs, there is now a safer, more modern alternative available. You just have to ask. Finally, I want to broaden our perspective for a moment. If you have been on these drugs for a long time, please do not be consumed by worry. The key is to start optimizing your brain health now. Reducing your anticholinergic load is one massive step, but it's part of a larger, beautiful picture of creating a dementia-proof life. Your brain's health isn't determined by one single factor. It's the sum of all your daily habits. You can start building new, stronger neural pathways today. Focus on the foundational pillars of brain health. This means getting consistent, restorative sleep every night. It means engaging in regular physical exercise, which acts as a miracle fertilizer for brain cells. Even a simple daily walk can have profound benefits. And crucially, you need to focus on reversing the other major risk factors that contribute to cognitive decline. This means tackling insulin resistance by adopting a whole foods diet that is low in sugar and processed carbohydrates. It means managing your blood pressure, as high blood pressure is like a battering ram against the delicate blood vessels in your brain. It means taking care of your heart, because what's good for the heart is always good for the brain. This is a journey I am deeply passionate about, and it is the entire mission of this channel. I am currently working on a whole series of videos dedicated to every aspect of optimizing your brain health as you age. We will talk about the best foods to eat, the specific nutrients your brain craves, the types of exercises that have been scientifically proven to grow new brain cells, and the mental habits that keep you sharp and engaged. So please, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, because I don't want you to miss what's coming. The information we've discussed today is heavy, I know, but it is also filled with hope. It is a powerful reminder that we are not passive victims of aging. We have the power to make informed choices, to question the status quo, and to be the fiercest advocates for our own health and the health of those we love. My promise to you is to always be here, to be your partner on this journey, translating the complexities of medical science into clear, actionable wisdom that you can use to live a longer, healthier, and more vibrant life. Thank you for trusting me with your time today. If you found value in this discussion, please consider sharing this video with a friend, a family member, or a neighbor. There are so many people quietly suffering from the side effects of these medications, and you could be the one to give them the knowledge that changes everything. And please, leave a comment below. Have you ever taken one of these medications? Have you noticed any brain fog? Sharing your story helps create a community of support and awareness for everyone. Stay healthy, stay informed, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.